Today's top analysis from our commentary on Reuters Breakingviews: why the Greek debt threat won't trigger Armageddon, how the right industrial policy could help the UK, and why Fiat CEO Sergio Marchionne's take on the EU auto market is misguided, says the columnist from Breakingviews. Chris Hughes is with me to talk about these. So you're going the other way. You're saying, look, let's not panic about this 1 trillion plus euro number that's being thrown around. Clearly spooked the markets yesterday. That carried over to the US. You're saying, look, calm down, everyone.
Yeah. I mean,
why are you saying that?
Look, the big uncertainty is whether this proposed Greek debt swap is going to be accepted. Now, look, on the most likely scenario, most of the holders of these bonds will accept. Now, there's a bigger question mark over a small portion, about sort of 14% of the outstanding, maybe about 18 billion euros worth. Mm-hmm. But let's suppose that there is a hard default on that smaller portion of bonds. Is it really going to trigger global Armageddon? We actually don't think so.
So you're saying a disorderly default might well happen, but that is not going to...
A disorderly default on the entirety of Greece's debt is clearly going to have market ramifications of quite of some magnitude. But let's be realistic here. It's very likely that actually most of the bondholders are going to accept this. But there is a genuine question mark over a small portion of the debt,
and that's the problem.
But even if there's a hard default on that sort of 18 billion or so, we really don't think it's going to have the kind of effects that the market is worried about. So the question is, why is the market so worried? Why are we seeing these sort of this sudden 2% sell-off in equities and this sort of flight from risk? We seem to have this sort of risk rally over the past few weeks. Well, it's because with this kind of thing, you still just sort of don't know. And any kind of default, even on a small portion of Greece's debt, just is a worry. It's an uncertainty about how it pans out. In reality, if you take a cool, hard look at what actually might happen on which elements of it, it's very hard.
Chris,
very hard to take seriously.
I hope you're right, because we're going to play. We're going to play this clip over and over and over again to you. If you're red,
as the screens go red, you're playing me going. It's very hard.
We'll just start every morning show with this clip of you saying, "Calm down, everyone. It's going to be fine."
Let's get real. But I mean, look, clearly there is a risk over a portion of this debt. But even then, if there's a hard default on that area of this problem that we think is still pretty uncertain, it's hard to see that translating into global market.
All right, let's switch track. The UK intelligent industrial policy is what we need. You say the Business Secretary Vince Cable has a plan, and we should let him do it. Yeah, well, why do you like this so much?
Well, generally we'd be quite cautious about the whole concept of industrial policy. It comes very close to the idea of sort of picking winners, which is generally a pretty misguided approach to sort of delivering economic growth. I mean, when politicians are left to sort of pick an industry to back, they invariably make the wrong decision.
Well, so, like the auto industry,
you could argue just let the market get on with it, but that's sort of unsatisfactory. I mean, there is, if you were able to be intelligent about it and sort of really identify the sectors which would benefit and create create improved infrastructure, focus on skills, these more sort of general aspects of industrial policy which benefit entrepreneurs, so cutting red tape, improving the tax environment, encouraging enterprise, improving transport links, improving broadband access. Those kind of things can have broad-based benefits, and then they can benefit whatever industry happens to emerge as the winner.
Okay, and let's move this on to the auto industry, because of course we had the news yesterday about Nissan in the UK. Fiat CEO is now calling for this EU-wide fix, which you say is a bit...
Well, it's sort of not... I mean, look, we all know that the European car sector suffers from overcapacity, and it would be great if everybody could sort of agree one day that we're going to cut production by 25%. But Sergio Marchionne is calling on the EU to sort of, to drive this through, to sort of mandate it.
Which is not their job.
It's not really their job, and we don't really actually want Brussels directly meddling in market structures like that. I mean, what Brussels' job is to do is to ensure that market forces work, that competition prevails, and through that mechanism, you'll find that the weakest players will withdraw their capacity over time. Okay. So that's what we should focus on.
Okay, Chris, many thanks for that. Chris Hughes. For more agenda-setting insight, watch our US Breaking Views show. That's every day, 12:30 Eastern, 17:30 GMT. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.